First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakah, Kodash, Tawada, and double honors to the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone, who are leading this word in truth and spirit and sincerity, and salutations to all the righteous brothers on the highways and byways that are bringing out this word in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, in truth and spirit and sincerity. Shalom, shalom, shalom. As you can see, today's edification is called the Social Credit System, New World Order. The Social Credit System, New World Order. So, without further ado, we're going to go straight to the video. Then we're going to do a little read and pull out some scriptures. Social Credit System, yeah?
Plus 2 free Audible originals. What if every action that you took in your life was recorded in a score like it was a video game? Bad actions lowered your score, while good actions raised your score. Your score could easily be looked up by anybody online, and depending on how high or low it was, people may think higher or lesser of you. Your score's value reflects how everybody else in the real-world game of life perceives you as either a good or a bad person, while you, in turn, can easily look up anybody else's score to gauge their own trustworthiness right when you meet them. It might seem like a weird episode of Black Mirror, but at some point later this year, in 2020, the largest country in the world is set to roll out a nationwide system very similar to this concept that will affect the daily lives of over 17% of the human population, and it's called the Social Credit System. Once rolled out later this year, it's expected that every one of the 1.4 billion citizens of China will be assigned a social credit score that will increase or decrease depending on actions taken that are considered by the state to be either socially beneficial or socially harmful. It will draw upon an unprecedented amount of data, using an individual's government, financial, and criminal records, as well as their online search histories, shopping habits, and social media posts. The purpose of the system is to attempt to better monitor, rate, and regulate the financial, social, and moral behavior of China's citizens in perhaps the most ambitious social experiment undertaken in the 21st century. Citizens with higher scores can expect a multitude of social benefits, while citizens with lower scores can expect a multitude of social punishments. By using a system of rewards and punishments like this, the Chinese government hopes to influence what it considers better social behavior from among its citizens. But the idea for the social credit system didn't just come out of nowhere. China essentially began beta testing the system back in 2009, when it began authorizing regional cities across the country to launch their own pilot systems. Over 42 of these systems are currently in operation across China, but each one is different and unique from every other system, and most don't even use an individual scoring number. So something you might do that would negatively affect your standing under the Beijing system might have no effect under the different system in Shanghai, or vice versa. The different regional systems in operation today have different criteria for what are considered positive or negative actions, and different rewards and punishments, so it's really difficult to generalize the system as it stands today, and it's difficult to predict what the final nationwide system will look like that Beijing finally decides upon. Overall, the central government of China has been analyzing these regional pilots for years now to see what works and what doesn't work for when they launch the nationwide system later, which is tentatively scheduled to be later in 2020. The nationwide system might include everything from all the regional pilots, it might pick and choose certain parts from different systems, or it might include almost nothing at all from any of them. We just won't know until China reveals more details later. However, there is plenty of room for some extreme speculation. So, here is a potential preview of everything that might be included from examples across all of China's current regional pilots. So, based on the various systems already in place, activities that could supposedly increase your social credit score once the nationwide system is in place would be things like donating blood, paying your bills on time, donating to charity, signing up for volunteer work or community service, taking care of elderly family members, or being a model employee at work, along with more, weird activities, like publicly praising the Chinese government on social media, or assisting the government authorities with cracking down on political dissenters or religious dissidents. But what I find a lot more interesting than the activities that can raise raise your score, though, are the various fun activities that can lower it. Under the current regional pilot in the city of Suzhou, getting caught cheating in online video games will negatively affect your social credit score. It's also been speculated that playing what the government considers to be an excessive amount of video games will also hurt your score. So here's a big F to all the gamers in China if that ends up finding its way into the final system. Other things that can negatively affect your score that might find their way into the final system include things like participating in anything on this list of groups that China considers a cult, an insincere apology in court for a crime committed, spreading false rumors or fake news on the internet, posting anti-government messages on social media, not visiting your aging parents frequently enough, participating in protests against the Chinese authorities, paying your bills late, blasting loud music on public transportation, which, to be fair, is actually kind of reasonable, but also things like ordering takeout without picking it up, or scheduling something like a doctor's appointment or a hotel reservation and not showing up, along with other things like not sorting your waste properly or committing traffic violations like jaywalking or running a red light. Currently, under the systems in Shanghai and Jinan, a citizen's score can be lowered for walking their dog in public without a leash or for not picking up their poop. If enough of these dog-related transgressions take place, the city can legally take your dog away from you and you can get slapped with up to a 5-year ban on owning any other dogs. And this leads us into the bizarre world of potential rewards and punishments. A higher score can potentially lead to some pretty great benefits like priority admissions for universities, priority resume viewings by employers, cheaper public transportation, free gym access, shorter wait times at hospitals and government agencies, discounts at hotels, and potentially generous tax breaks, among other things. Punishments, on the other hand, for lower scores can include some pretty ridiculous things, like being placed on a flight and high-speed train ban, and potentially a ban on public transportation in general, which, along with a ban on getting an exit visa, effectively traps the recipient into being a modern-day serf unable to leave their land. Other punishments include an ineligibility to hold government jobs, losing access to private schools or universities, losing access for children attending private schools or universities, being restricted to only a low-speed internet connection, a ban on renting hotels, and the weirdest of all, potentially becoming the subject of extensive public shaming campaigns. Lower score citizens may have their photos and ID numbers placed on big LED screens at busy public intersections or displayed on movie screens at theaters before the movie plays, like a weird kind of ad where you're supposed to laugh at real people. But Chinese social media companies are also helping the government out with this. In the city of Nanning, the social media app Douyin, basically the Chinese version of TikTok, partnered up with the local courts to broadcast pictures of people with low social credit scores in between videos. While China's biggest dating app, called Baihe, has already begun allowing users to publish their social credit scores inside of the app, which leads to the implication that higher scored people will do better in online dating versus people with lower scores. China is already preparing a massive investment into nationwide surveillance to help assist the system once it's finally rolled out. In 2019, it was estimated that there were already over 200 million CCTV cameras in operation by the Chinese government across the country for surveillance purposes. But by the end of 2020, that number is expected to skyrocket to well over 620 million cameras nationwide, almost enough for one camera for every 2 people in the country, many of which will be equipped with new facial recognition technology that will potentially be able to catch somebody doing something in public, like jaywalking and lowering their social credit score. And as of June 2019, China has already denied 26.8 million airline tickets and 6 million high-speed rail tickets to individuals in the country who have too low of a standing under the current regional systems. And it's not just individuals that China is potentially planning on assigning scores to, but entire corporations might get their own individual scores as well. Corporations in good standing under the system will receive things like tax breaks, while corporations in poor standing will get harsher, increased tax rates. And as the 2020 deadline approaches for the launch of the nationwide system, it continues to remain largely under development. We know that the system will be in place only in mainland China. The special administrative regions of Hong Kong and Macau will be exempt. But other than that, we'll have to wait and see what China announces. And so far, China has remained silent. But if you're impatient and you want to hear more about what life could really be like under a weird dystopian future,
Orwell, boy.
you should check out George Orwell's 1984.
Absolutely.
And like so many other great books, 1984 is available as an audiobook on Audible, so you can listen to it wherever and whenever. I find that listening to books helps me fit a lot.
Well, as you can see, social credit system that's been fully implemented in China is something that these global elites are going to implement around the world. And this is why when we speak about this coronavirus and how they're using this coronavirus to see how much control they can take over the people, they're using the coronavirus to see how much people follow the rules and regulations and what they're told. They're using the coronavirus to see how much people are prepared to drink the Kool-Aid. All right? Let's have a little bit of light, a little bit dark in here. Are prepared to drink the Kool-Aid, basically. And as you can see, people are drinking the coronavirus Kool-Aid like there's no tomorrow, you know? Like it's the sweetest juice ever. So what's going on in China is going to become a global effect. Remember, there's 1.7 billion people in China. China makes up 1/6 of the world population. And the way how these Western governments grab power, the way how these Western governments who can call themselves democratic, right? How they grab power and institute new laws is through what? Through pandemics, through terrorism. Before the war, we spent the last 20 odd years with the war against terrorism, of so-called terrorism. And it was just one new law after the other and this and that until you couldn't go on the airplanes with any liquid substances or any foods or water or this and that. And when you came through the airport, you this check, that check, and then the TSA was invented, and that's what they do. They use major world incidents to institute their new plans, the New World Order. So China, I've always said this, China is right now for the global elites is the test ground for this new social credit system. And all of this is going to intertwine with the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. All right? Because that will be the next major step you're going to see China introduce is the microchip. And they, just like every other nation, they're going to use the managing and the monitoring of the coronavirus and the vaccination and everything else that goes with that. They're going to say the only way we can monitor this is through, the only way we can properly monitor this is through the microchipping of the population. And then they're going to tell you, just like we've been saying, like I've been saying, that the microchip can also be used for you to purchase, for you to travel. It'd be easy for you to get from one district to another, from one county to another, from one town to another, from one city to another. These guys behind the scenes are all working together. The global elites are all working together behind the scenes. So the reason why you see this social credit system has gone nationwide in China is because these type of things have always been accepted in China. Remember, China's got concentration camps there already with those what they call them, Uyghurs, those Uyghur Muslims. They've got over 3-4 million Uyghurs. They call them re-education camps, right? The world talks about it, but that's what they do. They can't, because the reason why they talk about it, because certain reporters have gone there and blown the lid. So it'll be on the news here and there, but behind the scenes, the global elites don't give a shit, because these re-education camps are going to become a global phenomenon. Just like this social credit system is going to become a global phenomenon. Just like the mark of the beast, the RFID chip is going to become a global phenomenon. But places like China, with such a massive population, is the perfect place to implement something like this before it goes global. But behind the scenes, they're working together. They're all working together. Everyone's working together. This ain't no East v West going on. to the audience, to the public, it seems like there's a rift going on between these nations. But behind the scenes, the global elites, the actual rulers, the ones that rule the world, the bankers, these are the guys that are going to push to institute these things, because their people are already embedded in all of the governments around the world. Right? They've got their agents embedded in all of the different governments around the world. This is why they're able to push their policies and get what they need to be done. They're not concerned about who runs the country, who the leaders are. They're not concerned that it's Putin in Russia or Trump in America. They've got their people already in government, in those seats that they need to be in, for them to be able to change the policies and to move to this. And like I said, these global elites, they control the world economy. The bankers control your financial systems, your monetary systems, right? They control your economic systems. They control your manufacturing, production. They control it all. So if they want to shut it down and say it's the pandemic that's causing it, they'll do it. So be prepared, because all of these things will lead to the microchip. This social credit system, just like the COVID-19, all roads lead to the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. The collapsing of the money systems, of the monetary, the physical and the monetary systems around the world will all lead to the microchip. All of these things that they're doing, all of these avenues will lead to the microchip. So, without further ado, let's go scripture. Bring out some scriptures. Let's bring out some scriptures. Without further ado, let's bring out some scriptures, family. Let's bring out some scriptures. Where shall we start? Where shall we start? Where shall we start? Where shall we start, family? I suppose Micah 2:1 is a good place to start, right? Micah 2:1, I believe. Micah 2:1. Let's just put it up. Micah chapter 2. Yeah. Now this is what's going on. Whether you want to hear or whether you want to forbear. But this is what's going on with these elites. Alright? This is what they're doing. This is what they're planning. This social credit system is it's going to be another global phenomenon. Watch and see. Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Because this is what the elites are doing. The super elites, the elites are doing. They're sitting down and they're working out, how do we take control of the whole world global population? This is why it's called globalization. They call it globalization. They want one global community. Everyone under the same umbrella, under these devils, satanic rulership. They want everyone under this so-called New World Order, globalization, because with that comes every other decrepit, satanic, homosexual, destructive, hypocrisy, corrupted iniquity with that. So woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Because that's what it is. It's evil what they're planning. Their New World Order is all based on this new plan that involves the taking the control of the population and ultimately microchipping the whole global population. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it 24/7. So when they're gone to bed in this side of the world, in Europe, right? When they're gone to bed in this side of Europe, they're awake in the Far East. All right? When they're gone to bed in the Far East, they're awake in the Americas, in the West there. So there is no rest, because this is a 24/7 thing that these elites are working on together. They are spread across the globe. They have their provocateurs everywhere, their agents everywhere. They have their people everywhere. They control the whole financial institutions globally. Every single stock market is controlled by these elites and super elites. So when the morning is light, they practice it. They practice what they are devising. Because it is in the power of their hand. Because it is in the power of their hand. Why? The bankers. Listen, the person that prints the money controls the system. And those people that print the money own the banks. They control the system. They control who gets paid, how much. They control who they want to loan money to, and how much and how long for. They control how much money is printed, where the money goes, what it's used for. They control the whole system because it is in their power. It is in the power of their hand right now. So they're at the pinnacle of their power. And the final part of these elites and super elites' power is taking full control of every single person on this planet. And the way they are planning to do this is via the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, the RFID chip. So all of these things that they are doing is will lead you to that road, will lead you to that door. The social credit system is going to lead you there. The vaccination system is going to lead you there. These draconian laws that they keep pulling is going to lead you there. Their media that they control is going to lead you there. Because it is in the power of their hand. They control what you see, what you read, what you hear. They control the money that you use, where you use it, and how you use it. They control the food. They control the food supply. So we, through the powers of Yahweh and through our faith, we pray that the Lord navigates us on this rocky road that Esau has got for the global population. Because when I say Esau, Esau is the head elites. They are the head of all the elites, are the Edomites. So it says here, and they covet fields and take them by violence. So they covet fields and take them by violence. What fields are that? They covet fields and take them by violence. Because they control everything. And houses. They own everything. These people, remember, we don't decide the prices of our house. Are these people that control the system? They tell you what your house is worth. And they take them away. They take them by violence and houses, and they take them away. So what? So they oppress a man and his house, the things that you own. They oppress you and the things that you own, even a man and his heritage. And we know our heritage has been oppressed by these devils, oppressed and suppressed by these devils, because they've taken it, they've oppressed us, they suppressed our heritage out of us, and then they've put it on another nation of people. And they call themselves the Jews. Through all that oppression, they suppressed that out of us, out of the true children of Israel. It says, therefore, thus says the Lord power, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go hauntily, for this time is evil. It's an evil time that we're in, people. An absolute evil time that we're in. Proverbs. Proverbs I want? No, Psalms. We go to Psalms. Psalms 1. Yeah, start at verse 1. Psalm chapter 140, verse 1. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Who is the evil man? The evil man is Esau, the Edomites, because they control the whole thing. Preserve me from the violent man. That same violent man that does what? That takes your houses. And they covet your fields, everything you've owned. Take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, everything you own, even a man and his heritage. So that's the violent man, is Esau. He's that evil man, which does what? Which imagines mischief in their heart. Because that's what it is. It's an imagination of things that they're going to do in their heart. They've been sitting on this for so long, what they want to do and how they want to do it and how they're going to clamp down. Which imagine mischief in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. Because I always tell you that all of this, what they're doing, is going to lead to World War III. Is going to lead to World War III. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent because they're such a proud people. Esau is such a proud nation. And they are the serpent that the Bible speaks of. When you go to the book of Genesis and it talks about the serpent that deceived Eve, the serpent wasn't a snake. The serpent was a person that had the attributes of a snake. Deception, to deceive, to slither in and out. And that's Esau. They have sharpened their tongue like a serpent, right? Like an adder's poison is under their lips. Why does it say adder's poison is under their lips? Because they speak lies. Remember the Native American Indian tribes, the Northern Kingdom, the Gadites, the Reubenites, Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar, Simeon, Asher. Remember what they said? They said this man has a forked tongue. Forked tongue. Speaks, says one thing today, another thing tomorrow. So there's like adder's poisons under their lips because they can't speak the truth, because that's who they are. They can't speak the truth. It says, keep me, O Lord Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man. Who is the violent man? Who's the man that's gone to the four corners of the world, murdered, pillaged, raped, oppressed? Murdered, pillaged, raped, oppressed, tortured. Who's did that? Who's that violent man? Esau, Edom, the Edomites. The Edomites. That's the violent man. So keep me, O Lord Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Because I say again, we can only pray that the Lord Yahweh has mercy on these dark days that are upon the whole world. Preserve me from the violent man who has what? Who has purpose to overthrow my goings. He wants to overthrow everything to do with righteousness, everything to do with Yahweh Shai. He wants to give you white Jesus, which is a lie. He wants to give you all of these different strains of Christianity, which is a lie. He wants to give you all of these different religions he's put upon the world. He's made those people in the Middle East believe that they're Muslims. All right? You've got the Asians in East Asia believe they've got Buddhists, got Hindus, Sikhs. He says, the proud have hid a snare for me. Who are the proud? Who is the evil man? Who is the violent man? Who is the wicked man? Who is the proud man? There's only one man who has all of those attributes, you know. The proud man, the wicked man, the violent man, the evil man, and the lying man. It says, the proud have hid a snare for me in cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. Because that net that they're going to spray is going to be the microchip. And they're going to use their people to make you believe it's a good thing, people. It's a beautiful thing. It's the next iPhone. It's the next Samsung. It's the next interactive device you need to have. He's spreading that net and he's using He's controlled media. He's using his movie industry, TV, to capture you, as well as he's paid for pastors and preachers and deacons and politicians. It says, they have set gins for me. I said unto the Lord Yahweh, thou art my power, because he's our power. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. That's why I always say to you, pray, 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 pray that the Lord shows mercy on you, guides you, protects you. O power, the Lord, the strength of my salvation. He's the strength of our salvation. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, not Esau or his devious devices. It's the Most High and his son Yahweh Shai. That is the strength of our salvation. So, O power, O Most High, the Lord, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O Lord Yahweh, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked devices. And one of his greatest wicked devices is going to be the microchip. Lest they what? Lest they do what? Lest they exalt themselves. Because that's what they want to do. They want to exalt themselves. Once they've taken total control, they're going to exalt themselves even more. Because Esau's ultimate plan, he believes he is the Most High. He wants that type of power to control everything, do everything, this and that. He's such a proud man. Such a proud man. Precept comes to mind. Proverbs 11. Okay. Verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. That's another thing that Esau is stacking up on his riches, right? But righteousness, listen carefully, delivereth from death. Mark this scripture down. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, because that day of wrath is upon the whole world. Revelations 12 and 12. Riches profit not in the day of wrath. This is the day of wrath. It's here. It's prophesied in the Bible. The day of wrath. Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, Esau Edom, the Edomites, is come down unto you, having great wrath. Like a lion, boy, having great wrath. Why? Because he knows that he has but a short time, people. He knows he's got a short time left. The clock is ticking for Esau. He knows it. But yet he's still gathering all of those riches. Building and building and building more shit. And that's why Peter says, is it Peter, Timothy? So we're going to put it out. First Thessalonians 5 and 6. It says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken, are drunken in the night. And it's not talking about liquor or alcohol. It's talking about the philosophies of this world. That's what it's referring to. The philosophies of this world. But let us, those of us that are not sleeping, those of us that know that the microchip is the mark of the beast, those of us know that we're in the time of Jacob's trouble, it's going to get worse. Those of us that know that Esau is going to implement the microchip on a global spaces, those of us that know that Esau and the other nations are going to ignite World War III. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of what? Of faith and love. For what? For a helmet, the hope of salvation. So we're not asleep to this. We're not asleep to this. So when it says here, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness dwelleth from death. Why? Why? Because woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he, Esau, knows that he has but a short time. He knows that he's got a short time, people. Psalms 7. Whoa. Psalm 7, verse 11. The Most High judges the righteous. Right? And the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Who is the wicked? Who is the wicked? The wicked is Esau, Edom. The Most High judges the righteous. Right? And is what? He is angry with the wicked every day. Because he knows what the wicked is. Remember what I spoke to you about before? I said to you, the Most High is waiting for the sins and the wickedness of the wicked to reach its pinnacle, to reach the top, to start overflowing the bottle before he comes down on them, before he brings their judgment. Esau's wickedness has to reach the top, all, because he's going to be judged for everything he's done. If he turn not, he will whet he what? If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He has bent his bow and made it ready. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the Most High is ready. But he knows certain prophecies have to be fulfilled before the angel blows the seventh trumpet to summon the Son. The Son goes before the Father, and he says, right, all systems go. It's going to be like Thunderbirds. 3, 2, 1. Remember Thunderbirds? It's going to be like Thunderbirds when he sends his sons and the angels. He's just waiting. But his sword is wet. Wet. He has bent his bow and made it ready. Because this man, Esau, is going to come down. Listen, in these last days, man, I don't think people truly understand the devastation that this devil is going to come with in these last days. And he's going to incorporate all of the other nations to partake in his wickedness. They're all going to be drinking out of that same cup, that cup of fornication that Esau has passed out to all the nations. They're all going to be on board. All of these totalitarian governments, authoritarian governments, all of these so-called democratic governments, they're all going to be on board when he comes with the final push. He has also prepared for him the instruments of death. He's prepared for him. He ordains what? His arrows against the persecutors. The Most High is prepared. What is part of the Most High's instruments of death? Your intercontinental ballistic missiles. These are the Most High's instruments of death, you know. ICBM. I know people can't, they still can't. It doesn't register with a lot of people. But these intercontinental ballistic missiles, what the nations are going to use against one another, are the Most High's instruments of death. What you see here are the Most High's instruments of death. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right? So when we go back to Proverbs, where was we? Proverbs chapter 7, verse 13. He has also prepared for him the instruments of death. Who's the him? Esau, Edom. Because I can't stress this enough. He's going to put the spirit on the nations to go to war against each other. Russia is going to go to war against America. It's going to start as a conventional war. It's going to escalate to a nuclear war. These are the instruments of death that the Most High has prepared for Esau. And the other nations, but mainly Esau. Because Esau controls the whole world. He controls the whole system. Esau the ones that's going to implement these systems on a global basis. So these instruments of death that the Most High gave Esau the ability to create is for a reason alone. One reason. And one reason alone. Is for his own destruction. And those are the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. These are the Most High's arrows. Remember, I spoke about this before, right? What do they call a broken arrow? A missile. A nuclear missile is called a broken arrow. It's another name for it. They call it a broken arrow. If you type in broken arrow, you think Esau called broken arrow, these broken arrow just out of calling it a broken arrow? Broken arrow. What is meant by broken arrow? The military uses the term broken arrow to describe any incident in which a nuclear weapon is lost, stolen, or inadvertently detonated. Right? So this is a nuclear weapon, an ICBM. I say again, the military uses the term broken arrow to describe any incident in which a nuclear weapon is lost, stolen, or inadvertently detonated. That's a broken arrow. That's it. Nuclear weapons. Go back to Psalms. He has also prepared for him the instruments of death, nuclear missiles. He ordained his arrows, nuclear missiles, against the persecutors. Who are the persecutors? Who are our oppressors? Who are our persecutors? Who's our judge, jury, and jailer? Esau. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity. That's Esau. He travails. It's everywhere he goes, iniquity follows him. He went to the four corners of the world and he murdered, robbed, pillaged, raped, lied. Everywhere that man went, iniquity followed close behind. And has what? And has conceived a mischief. One of Esau's greatest mischiefs are his laws that he implements. The tens and tens and tens of thousands of laws that this man has. And brought forth falsehood, because he is a liar. That's why he's brought forth falsehood. He's a liar. He gave you a white Jesus. That was a lie. He told you that the disciples were white. That was a lie. That Moses and the prophets were white. That was a lie. He told you that the Israelites were white. The Jews were white. That was a lie. He told you that you came from apes and turned into men. That was a lie. He told you about the Big Bang theory of the universe. One big bang exploded and all the planets just happened to position themselves in the exact right position. That's all a lie. This man gives you pure falsehoods. He made a pit, which he has. He's made his pit. And he's digged it. He's digged it. He truly has. And is fallen into the ditch which he made. He's going to fall into that ditch which he made. He's made his bed and he's going to lie in it. So that pit which he's digged, he's going to fall into that ditch. That same ditch that he made, that he used, and he's made to swallow up the true children of Israel. He's going to fall in it. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own pate. I say again, Esau, Edom, you Edomites, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own pate. But I will praise Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai according to what? According to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of Yahweh, the Most High. And that's what we do. We sing praises to the name of Yahweh B'Shem, the Most High. Couple more. Isaiah 32 comes to mind. This man is the churl. Verse 5. The vile person, Esau Edom, shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be beautiful. For the vile person will speak villainy. That's what these elites are doing, these bankers. It's pure villainy that they're dealing with. Them collapsing the global economy is pure villainy. Them using COVID-19 to shut down the global economy is pure villainy. because they need to implement the last leg of the New World Order plan to do the globalization, which ultimately is the microchipping of the population, the controlling of the population, and also the culling of the nations. Esau wants to cull the majority of the people on the planet. For that vile person will speak villainy. Those are the elites. They're the most vilest people on this planet. And his heart will work iniquity. Because they don't know it any other way. When it says his heart, it means his mind shall work iniquity. That's all he's thinking. To what? To practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Most High. And that's they utter error every day because they believe that they are a God. You've got Esau changing men into women, women into men. With their transgender, bigender, this gender, that gender. Trying to create babies in laboratories. Cloning animals. He totally errs against the Most High, this devil. To make what? To make empty the soul of the hungry. That's what they want to do. So you can be dependent on them. They want to make you empty. They want to make your soul and your spirit empty. So when they do all of these wicked things, with their experiments, with their wars, Esau makes all of these biological weapons. For what? Esau pushes out homosexuality everywhere. He wants to make your soul empty of the hungry. And he will what? He will cause you to drink of the thirsty to fail. And that drink is his philosophies. That's what you're drinking. His way of life, his philosophies. When it talks about the wine, drinking of the wine of this man, it's his philosophy, his beliefs. He wants you to believe in this system that he's created, this thing that he talks about, equal opportunities. Anyone can be anyone, do this, do that, do what you want. Ret-a-tet-tet, blah, blah, blah. Worship what you want. If you're a man, you can be a woman. If you're a woman, you can be a man. Who cares? If you want to be a man today, a woman tomorrow, do what you like. You can worship whatever idol you want, whatever so-called God you want. Esau's pedophiling your children. They don't mind. They go on holiday to do that. They go on package holidays to go and pedophile children in poorer countries. But they want you to drink this. They want you to accept this shit that they do. And then they want to sell it democracy, right? The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. That's the devil, man. That's the devil. That's the devil himself. That's the devil. One more Proverbs. Let's give you Proverbs. One more comes to mind. Proverbs chapter 6. And we finish here. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 16. These 6 things does the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked imaginations. Feet that be swift in running to mischief. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord amongst brethren. I say again, these 6 things does the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart, which is a mind, that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord amongst his brethren. Esau, 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 Esau. And he's got the other nations to drink out of that same cup. That same cup of abominations. Esau has got all of these other nations, these other leaders, other countries to drink out of that same cup of abominations that the Most High hates. Simple. So, on that note, I'm going to call it a day. I pray this was an edifying lesson. Like I said, today's edification was called about the social credit system. That, like I said, these elites are all working together behind the scene. This ain't no just going to be happening in China. This is going to go global. China is just the first place and the largest place which makes sense to them to implement it before it goes global. So watch that space, people. All those roads will eventually lead to the microchipping of the nation. Whether it's via the vaccination, via the social credit score system, or any other system, they're all going to lead to the microchipping of the nations on a global scale. So, on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakah, Kodash. Until we meet again, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. All praises.